Two guys talk to the same woman. Guy one smiles, asks, "So what do you do?" She answers politely, smiles back, forgets him in 30 seconds. Guy two looks at her, waits, and says, "You look like someone who's good at holding it together. When was the last time you didn't?" She pauses, looks away, smirks. The air changes for a second. That's the difference. Most men ask questions to collect information. High-level men ask questions that change her internal state. One type of question gets you a fact. The other type makes her associate you with a feeling. Information is forgettable. Emotion is not. In this video, I'm going to show you how to engineer questions with gravity. Questions that feel like a mirror, not an interview. Questions that disrupt autopilot and pull her into the moment. Questions that make her walk away thinking, "Why do I feel like I've known him longer than 20 minutes? You're not trying to sound interesting. You're learning to create experience in real time. Once you understand how this works, she won't remember you because you said something clever. She'll remember you because for a moment, she felt more like herself than she has in a long time. Part 1. The rules of addictive questions. Before we get into techniques, we need to rewire how you see conversation. Most guys talk like information traders. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? What are your hobbies? It's polite, it's safe, it's also completely dead. She has answered those questions hundreds of times. She can do it, half distracted, on autopilot without feeling anything. Your goal isn't to get answers. Your goal is to create internal movement. A pause, a laugh, a flash of memory, a spike of emotion. So here are 3 core rules. Rule 1. Don't interview her. Interrupt her pattern. When you first meet a woman, most guys show up with what I call LinkedIn energy. They're basically doing a job interview with flirting sprinkled on top. So what do you do? How long have you lived here? What do you like to do for fun? It's not evil. It's just predictable. The female brain is built to spot patterns. Pattern, safety, pattern, comfort, pattern, boredom. Her brain is a prediction machine. When it knows exactly what's coming next, it relaxes, but it also switches off emotionally. That's great for survival. That's terrible for attraction. You don't want to be the 37th guy this week, casually running the same conversational script. You want to introduce an interruption, not chaos, not weirdness, just a clean break from what her brain expected. Instead of, "So what do you do?" you say, "What part of your day actually feels like you?" Instead of, "Where are you from?" you say, "Did you grow up in a calm house or a loud one?" Instead of, "What are your hobbies?" you say, "What did you, stop doing that you secretly still miss?" Those questions force her brain to wake up. She can't autopilot those. You'll literally see it on her face. A pause, a micro smile, a tiny glitch in her usual rhythm. That glitch is gold. That's where real connection starts. You are not trying to collect facts. You're trying to disturb her pattern just enough that she feels, "Okay, this is different." Whoever breaks the pattern usually leads the frame. Rule 2. Ask what she has never fully put into words. Every person is walking around with feelings they've never explained, thoughts they've never articulated, stories they've never told properly. It's like there's a quiet radio station running in the background of their life that nobody else has tuned into. When someone asks you something that finally gives shape to that station, you remember them, not because they said something impressive, because they helped you hear yourself. You want your questions to do that, not, "What do you do for work?" but, "Do you feel like your job matches who you are, or are you just renting it until something else appears?" Not, "Are you close with your family?" but, "Who did you feel safest with growing up?" Not, "What are you looking for?" but, "Do you think you're actually ready for what you say you want?" Those questions don't just ask for information. They pull something out she didn't expect to share. If she answers honestly, she has to slow down, look inward, access a part of herself most people never touch. And here's the key. People don't become addicted to you. They become addicted to how they feel about themselves when they're with you. If she feels more honest, more real, more her around you than around most people, you've already separated yourself from 99% of men. You're no longer the guy who asked her favorite cocktail. You're the guy she accidentally told something true to. Rule 3. Emotion first, logic second. Most men are trained to win with correctness. Right answers, clean explanations, smart opinions that works in school. In attraction, it's almost irrelevant. What matters is not, did I say the perfect thing? What matters is, did her emotional state change while she was with me? You can be brilliant, articulate, rational, and utterly forgettable if you never make her feel anything. She won't remember what you explained. She will remember the moment she laughed too hard, the moment she felt unexpectedly seen, the moment she had goosebumps talking about some old memory. Logic goes to the intellect. Emotion goes to the nervous system. Logic says, that made sense. Emotion says, that mattered. So instead of purely logical questions, do you like your job? Go for questions that blend logic with meaning. Is your job something you'd be proud to tell your 14-year-old self about? Or would she look at you and say, really? That's what we did with our life? Instead of, where did you go on holiday last year? You say, where's the one place you've been that still pops up in your head when you can't sleep? You're not just asking what happened. You're asking what it means to her. Emotion is the amplifier. Ask questions that touch meaning, not just data. Part 2. 3 techniques to make your questions addictive. Now that you understand the principles, let's talk techniques. If you internalize these 3, you will not just be good at conversation. You'll be the guy people walk away from thinking, I don't know what it is about him, but I feel different around him. Technique 1. Use implied premises. Talk like you already get her. Most guys interact with women from a please let me in frame. Their subtext is, I don't understand you yet, but I hope if I ask enough questions you'll approve of me. So their questions sound like, oh, you're into astrology. That's interesting. Tell me more. You like yoga. How long have you been into that? It's harmless. It also screams, I'm an outsider trying to catch up. Instead, you want to speak with the calm energy of someone who has seen this type of person before. Not arrogant, not, I know everything about you. Just, you're not a mystery to me. I recognize your pattern. You do that with implied premises. Instead of asking, are you more introverted or extroverted? You say, you seem like people think you're extroverted because you're warm, but after a couple hours of social stuff, you disappear and don't respond to anyone, and nobody knows. You're just recharging, not mad at them. Watch what happens. If you're even half right, she'll light up, because you didn't ask her to explain herself. You reflected a part of her she probably feels nobody sees. That's not small talk. That's recognition. And people crave recognition far more than validation. Validation. You're pretty. Feels nice but generic. Recognition. You're the kind of person who keeps it together for everyone else and only breaks down in private. Feels piercing, specific, risky. Here's another example. Instead of, do you like living in this city? You say you don't fully feel at home here, do you? It's like you have a whole other version of your life in your head in another place. Now you've made a claim, not a question. If you're wrong, she'll correct you, still engaging. If you're right, she'll open up. Either way, you're not one more guy asking for her basic stats. You're the man who speaks to her inner world as if you've been there before. That's addictive. Technique 2. Microloops. Questions that make her chase closure. The human brain hates open loops, unfinished stories, half-told secrets, sentences that stop halfway. Your brain wants resolution. You can use that, ethically, to pull investment. A micro-loop is a tiny incomplete frame you open in conversation that makes her want to fill in the missing piece. Example, instead of, are you the jealous type? You say, you strike me as the type who pretends nothing bothers you until someone crosses a very specific line. Then, you don't argue, you just vanish. How accurate is that? You didn't ask, Tell me your entire emotional history. You opened a loop. Here's a version of you I see. Is it true? Now her brain is itching. Wait, how did he see that? That's partly right, but not completely. I want to correct this. To correct it, she has to invest. Explain herself. Reveal details. Tell stories. That investment builds attachment. Here's a rule you should tattoo on your brain. People don't invest in you because they like you. They like you more because they've invested. Every time she explains, corrects, or expands on something you hinted at, she's tying a tiny thread of emotional energy to you. Another micro-loop example. There's a version of you that almost nobody sees. You talk about it like it's in the past, but it's not gone. You just put it on a leash. I can already tell. You're not going to tell me what that version is yet, are you? And then you go quiet. You've just framed her as having a hidden side, suggested you can sense it, called out her resistance to revealing it. You don't push. You simply open the loop and let it breathe. Even if she doesn't answer right away, that idea will keep echoing. And sooner or later, she'll bring something up that feels like, remember when you said there's a version of me on a leash? That's the loop closing. You didn't force it. You created space and tension. She walked into it. Technique 3. Turn questions into shared scenes. The movie effect. Most conversations feel like ping-pong CV reading LinkedIn with flirting. You want something very different. You want it to feel like you two slipped into a shared little world for a few minutes. When you frame questions like scenes, not interrogations, you pull her out of her head and into imagination. Imagination is powerful because the brain codes imagined experiences and real experiences in very similar ways. If she imagines a situation with you, her nervous system reacts as if you actually went through something together. That creates a faint sense of familiarity, nostalgia, us. Even if you've only known each other an hour, instead of, what do you do for fun? You say, if your life was a movie and I watched the best day you've had in the last year scene, what would I actually see you doing? Now she has to visualize a day, relive it. Put you inside that frame as the observer. That's different from listing hobbies, another version. Instead of, what are your plans for the future? Might you say, okay, imagine we meet again, 5 years from now by accident. Where are you living? What does your day look like? And what would surprise me most about the life you built? Again, it's a scene. You're not just asking about goals. You're walking around inside her future with her. One more. If we were characters in a movie and you disappeared halfway through, what plot twist would the audience find out about your secret life? Now you're playing. It's light but deep. It invites her to reveal parts of herself in a playful container. You've shifted things from, tell me your facts, to, let's build a mini-story together. That shared imagination is felt as shared reality. And when the conversation ends, her brain doesn't say, I told him my job and hobbies. It says, I went somewhere with him. I felt something with him. That's what lingers. Part 3, putting it all together, with examples. Let's walk through how this can look in real time so you can feel the difference. Scenario. First conversation at a bar or event, most guys. Hey, I'm Mark. What's your name? Nice. What do you do? How long have you lived here? You. You can still start simple, but you steer differently. You. Hey, I'm Mark. You look like you've already mentally left this room twice. Am I interrupting a very dramatic internal monologue? She laughs. What? No, I'm just tired. You. You don't look tired. You look like you're doing your polite, socially acceptable version of yourself, because your real mood would confuse everyone. Already, you've implied you see more than the surface. You've made a playful but accurate observation. You've given her room to be more real if she wants. Then, okay, quick question. In this room, are you more observe everyone silently or accidentally become the center of attention without meaning to? She answers, you listen. Instead of then going, cool, so what do? You say, was this always you, or were you really different as a kid? You're now linking present personality to past story. Much richer than a job title. You can always ask about her job later. But now, if you do, you can tie meaning into it. You said you were really shy as a kid but curious. Does your job now feed that curiosity, or just pay for the parts of your life that actually feel like you? Now she has to answer from a feeling place, not a script. Scenario: messaging or text. Don't turn text into a written interview. Example: her, I'm just leaving work. Weak response: nice, what do you do? Stronger: okay, question. Are you the, I hate my job but I'm good at it type, or the, this is actually aligned with me but I'm tired of the people type? Then, and don't give me the polished answer you tell your relatives. You're opening a small loop. Don't give me the polished answer, and challenging her gently to be more real. Later, instead of, what are you doing this weekend? You say, if you could cancel everything this weekend without disappointing anyone, what would you actually do with the time? Now she's daydreaming with you. You're in her imagined weekend. Part 4. The mindset. Behind all of this. If you just memorize lines, you'll crash. The techniques only work if your internal frame is right. A few mindset rules. 1. Curiosity over performance. That you're not trying to impress her with deep questions. You're genuinely curious. Who are you when you drop the performance? What actually moves you? Where do you come alive? If your intention is real curiosity, your questions land safe instead of intrusive. 2. Respect her boundaries. Some women will open quickly, others won't. If she gives short, surface answers, don't push deeper and deeper like a therapist with a time limit. You can always pull back into something lighter, tease, or change topic. Depth is powerful because it's voluntary. 3. Stay grounded in your own experience when she shares. Don't just interrogate. Share too. Your own version of that feeling, your own story, your own contradictions. You're not an examiner. You're a co-author of the moment. Part 5. Why this makes you impossible to forget. Let's zoom out. Most men ask generic questions, get generic answers, leave generic impressions. They could swap places with 20 other guys and she wouldn't notice. When you interrupt her patterns, reflect parts of her she hasn't named, ask questions that touch meaning and memory, create little shared scenes and micro-stories, you stop being guy number 7 from that night. You become that guy who made me think about my 14-year-old self and that weird version of me I don't talk about. Or that guy who somehow guessed exactly how drained I feel in social situations and didn't judge me. Or that guy who, for some reason, felt like someone I'd known longer than an hour. She won't necessarily remember your exact words, but she'll remember the pause she took before answering, the little rush of honesty, the way her nervous system felt more awake. Questions are not about extracting information. They're about introducing electricity into the conversation and letting her feel that it came from standing next to you. Master that, and you'll never have to worry about being interesting again. You'll be the man whose presence changes the room, even when you're just asking a question.